Alright guys, hope you had a good weekend, hope you're all doing well and keeping safe. Firstly, huge thanks for the 50k subs. I've been stuck on 49k for a very long time, which, you know, is kind of understandable when I'm covering just the one game that's really gone silent, but it's a huge relief just to get over that 50k mark, so really do appreciate it, guys. Thanks very much. Now, talking of silence, this game is dead. Move on is probably the only comment I can guarantee will make it to the comment section of every Division 2 video ever made, not just by me but by anyone. I've seen previous creators tackle this topic head on before, and I've never really felt the urge to talk about it myself until now. There's a poll addressing this very topic on the community tab here on YouTube, so go cast your vote. You will need to be a subscriber, I believe, so if you haven't, please do, and then that way you can vote. I will include some of the results in this video from that poll as well, so we can see what you guys think. But with that said, let's talk about this. The Division 2 is dead. This game is dead. Why don't you play another game? These have become very common comments in the comment section of many Division 2 videos. Now, the main reason that I wanted to address this question, theory, whatever it's this statement now is in my last video I talked about whether it was worth purchasing the Division 2 in 2021. One of the things I mentioned was the amount of times I go on Reddit and see posts from new players either asking for help with something in the game or praising the game. Now, these types of posts have become very common on the Reddit forum, so when I see the Division 2 is dead comment on every video, it's kind of hard for me to take that comment seriously. Now, on top of that, I check the Reddit forum every single day, and that includes weekends too, because, you know, I've kind of got a job here. It's a hobby as well, but a job to you guys who subscribe to me for content, and I want to give you guys the most up-to-date news about the game, and Reddit or Twitter is where it's likely going to break. I'd say for the last year or more, the amount of players searching the forum, the Reddit forum that is, at the same time as me has been steady at around 1.1 to 1.5k or so. Now, back when Warlords of New York was released, the amount of players was much greater, of course, but since that honeymoon ended, it's been very stable on the forums, which says to me players haven't given up on the game and are probably in the shadows, waiting. So that's at least two indicators the game isn't dead, per se. One thing I do see talked about a lot in terms of the Division 2 and how dead it is the Twitch numbers. People using that as an indicator of the game's popularity. And whilst Twitch numbers can certainly tell you what people like playing, well, certainly what people like watching people play, there are many cases where this isn't true at all. And most recently, Final Fantasy XIV saw a huge surge in players following the mass exodus of players from World of Warcraft. At one point, Asmongold was streaming to about 100k plus people when playing FF14, but before this exodus, FF14 was only bringing in around 20 to 40k viewers at a time when it was still the second or the third biggest MMORPG game on the market. And even when Asmongold did stream to, I think it was to about 120k viewers, there was still only 150k viewers for Final Fantasy XIV when it was being touted as kind of the #1 biggest MMORPG on the market, beating out World of Warcraft. So there's only an additional 30k there, and if you look at that, then you can see the Twitch numbers don't actually accurately reflect the player base at all for a game. And I think that's probably the same for the Division 2. There's a lot of games that people don't enjoy watching other people play that are still very popular. I think Final Fantasy XIV might fit in there, and I think the Division 2 fits in there as well. Now, I'm not saying there's 100k people playing the Division 2, because that's almost certainly not true. I'd be willing to put my mortgage on that not being true. I'm not even saying there's 10,000 concurrent players playing, because I also don't think that's true either. I'd probably be willing to put my car on that there's not 10,000 concurrent players. There's probably, I would say, a couple of thousand maximum. What I'm saying is Twitch numbers, they don't mean a whole lot. When you see the Division 2 on there with 200 viewers, that doesn't mean that people aren't playing the game. It just means that people don't enjoy watching other people play the game. I think one of the biggest indicators I found to be in line with a game's interest is YouTube views. there's no doubt when I post a topic video like this one, they don't do nearly as well as any of the Division 2 news titled videos. This has been consistent since the Division 2 launched, and even before then when I was doing speculation videos. My views on news related videos are still quite popular, all things considered, with the most recent video of mine reaching 25,000 views. Build videos on YouTube regularly exceed 30k views with some creators, and sure, it's not the 80k plus views or more people were getting when Warlords of New York dropped back in March last year, but it's still quite a lot. Mark of Blades, for example, posted a solo PvE build just 1 month ago, and that got 83,000 views, with most of his videos exceeding 20 or 30k views. If you're getting that amount of views, that kind of level of engagement on build videos that only people who actually play the game might be interested in, I think that all but kind of proves there is still an active community there playing the game, with many more waiting for the latest content to drop before coming back into the fray. You don't get 30k views on a build video for a game if people aren't playing the game. Now, news related stuff, I could see that being more. You know, you could have a news video that hits 40, 50k, and you could safely say that maybe only 1k of those are actually playing the game, because the other people are probably, as I've said, waiting in the shadows, seeing if there's new content coming out, which I think the vast majority of the Division 2 community is actually doing. But to get 30k views or 80k views, as Mark of Blades got, I mean, that's probably 70k of those are actually playing the game. That's a huge portion of people that are actually playing the game, and I think that's a strong indicator there's still a vibrant player base in the Division 2. You're just not seeing it on Twitch numbers. I won't lie to you guys, for me personally, the game feels pretty dead right now, because there is nothing in the game for really that I want to do. There's nothing piquing my interest. I've got the build that I want, and I don't really want to make any other builds. The game modes are not there, and I've run all the missions, a million times. With that said, there are still posts I see weekly on Twitter, probably daily actually, with people exceeding the 1k on their Shade Watch, and obviously talking about it. The numbers on YouTube, the Reddit forums, and other places indicate the game still has an audience, and there is likely a large portion of that audience just waiting. What's very clear is the game is not dead, and the game still has a hold of many people. For me, it's probably the most addictive game I've ever played. It's very rare I go a week without jumping back into the game, and that's not just for footage included in my videos, but I actually find it hard not to play the game for an extended period of time, because simply there are no other games that offer what the Division does. The numbers I've talked about suggest that actually I'm likely not alone here as well. I'm very much in the shadows at this point, waiting for the news on the new content, with my fingers crossed that it hits the mark, as I'm sure many people are doing. In fact, on checking the poll, it appears the majority have voted for waiting room when I asked if the Division 2 was dead or in the waiting room. So this further indicates more people are simply waiting for new things to do. And I guess that brings me to my last point. I find it amusing that people will comment that a game is dead, whether that be the Division or any other game. But in order to do that, they had to click on that video, likely watch an advert, which the creator will get paid for, and then go down into the comment section and leave a comment. Now, if the game is so dead, why are you wasting your time leaving a comment, is the question that I have. I don't know about you guys, but my time's pretty valuable to me. So the last thing I want to do is waste my time leaving a comment about a game I think is not worth wasting my time playing because it's dead. I think that makes sense. But anyway, let's hope we hear something about the new content, or perhaps Heartlands at Gamescom in just over 2 weeks. Ubisoft are there, but we don't know what is being shown yet. I really hope we get some Division 2 new stuff soon, because guys, I can't wait. I honestly, I'm struggling to play other games because nothing captures my attention more than this game. Though guys, I think I've made my position clear on this topic. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Like I said, if you want to partake in the poll, you will need to be a subscriber, so please do that. Head on over to the poll and let's get as many votes in there as possible, so we've got a good idea on where the we got a good sample size of where the community stands in terms of this game. Thank you very much for watching the video, and until the next one, epic out.